Good morning, Russell Sprouts. I want to go over our lesson for today, our activity for today. Let me find figurative language. And today you're doing the Dainty Dragon. If you guys need help with this, yesterday I had some kiddos that needed help on Princess Penelope, and I set up a Zoom to go over it with them. So if you need help with it, then I will be happy to Zoom with you to go over it. I'll just share my screen and we'll do some of the questions together. So if that's something that you think you need, then by all means, please get in touch with me to do that. Okay, so in this passage, we have two similes, one metaphor, two instances of hyperbole, personification, two instances of alliteration, two instances of onomatopoeia, and three idioms. No, Batman is not a kid. He's an adult. Okay, and so let's go ahead and read the passage. I'll read the passage to you, and then we will find a couple of these together, okay? Long ago, in a sleepy Japanese village, there lived a dragon named Doris. Doris the dainty dragon was admired by other dragons, young and old, and she was more lovely than any dragon ever had been. On a night as cold and black as marble, the Herculean horseman rode into town. He was a dark shadow that filled everyone in the village with fear, as it was known that anyone who had ever crossed paths with the Herculean horseman had paid for it. It was even rumored that the Herculean horseman could defeat thousands of enemies within seconds. Word spread throughout the village that the Herculean horseman had challenged Doris to a duel. Doris anxiously awaited the duel like a murderer awaiting trial. When the day arrived, the two met in the village square. Thunk, flop, the Herculean horseman defeated Doris in under a second. Okay.
Can I have it?
Yeah. Does that hurt your face now?
No.
Okay, go play, please.
Toby, just take it off.
Okay. The Herculean horseman defeated Doris in under a second.
Mom, my phone stuck in on there. It was the thing on this map. It was a
Okay,
map.
go play, please.
But it was broken.
Go play, thank you. Okay. So let's look, since we have three idioms, let's find an idiom. Okay. And that's blue. So an idiom is something that if you say it the way that it actually is written, it has a different meaning than what we actually want it to. An expression whose meaning is different from the meaning of the individual words. Okay. And so for this one, there's three of them in here. So this one right here, crossed paths. The paths didn't actually cross. Just means that they came in contact with each other. Okay. So crossed paths is an idiom. So let's do a square. I'm going to drag it over crossed paths. And we're going to color it blue. And then we're going to go back over here and we're going to go to custom. And we're going to change the transparency so that we can see through it. Crossed paths. Okay. So that's one idiom. So there's two more to find in this passage. Okay. Let's also find, I think alliteration is pretty easy. On the onomatopoeia in here is pretty easy. Let's find a hyperbole. Okay, so a hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration used to make a point. So you guys are full of hyperbole. You get it's like it's for dramatics. It was supposed to be in the Batman mask, so please go. Okay, it's broken now. Go play. It makes it more dramatic. Okay, so it's like, oh, I'm so hungry. I'm starving, Mrs. Russell. Or, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna pee my pants. Okay, that's a hyperbole, because you're not really gonna pee your pants and you're not really starving. But it's an exaggeration. Okay, so, right here. Okay, green is hyperbole. So right here, it was even rumored that the Herculean horseman could defeat thousands of enemies within seconds. Well, that is hyperbole, because no one, unless you are dropping some sort of bomb on someone, you don't defeat enemies in seconds, thousands of them. So let's see, could defeat thousands of enemies. And then we're going to color it green. And we're going to make it transparent. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing for this little baby over here. Seconds. Okay. So, that's definitely hyperbole. Okay, so it's not at all really true. No one does that. Okay, it's an exaggeration. So there's one more instance of exaggeration in here. So I will leave that for you to find, but maybe we can find one of the similes too. Let's see if we can find a simile. So a simile is a comparison of two things. Okay, comparing one thing to another by saying one thing is like something else or using the word like or as. Okay, so we have on a night as cold and black as marble. Okay, so they're comparing the night to being cold and black as marble. Okay, so that is one of our similes. So they're comparing night to a marble in this particular simile. Make it transparent. Okay. So that's 3 for you that we found together. You have one simile to find, a metaphor, one hyperbole, personification, both alliterations, both onomatopoeias, and then 2 more idioms. Okay. Let me go through the questions on the second page. Okay. Which instance of figurative language leads the reader to believe that nothing exciting ever happened in the Japanese village? Okay, so which type of figurative language leads you to believe that? Is it personification, allusion, onomatopoeia, or an idiom? Number 2, the allusion in line 4 is meant to imply that the horseman is strong, evil, mischievous, or not very smart. We're not really going over allusion, but that's that Herculean horseman, okay, which is also another form of figurative language. But Hercules was very strong in Greek mythology, character in Greek mythology. So you kind of have to know that. So this one is strong. Number 3, read the idiom in line 6. What most likely happened? to past enemies of the Herculean horsemen. They were harmed or killed. They eventually became his friends. C, they left the Japanese village. Or D, they were turned into stone. Number 4, read the simile in line 9. How did Doris feel about her upcoming duel? She was ready for it to get it over with. She dreaded it. She tried not to think about it. She knew everything would work out in the end. And then number 5, who is the antagonist in the story? Okay, so we have the protagonist, who is the main character, and then the antagonist is who brings conflict to the main character. So who is the antagonist? Okay, change the antagonist's name to so that readers will believe he is good instead of evil, while still keeping the figurative language used in the original name. So if our antagonist is the Herculean horseman, then you need to change his name, okay, to sound good instead of evil using this same figurative language. So I will leave it to you to make sure you know what kind of figurative language this is, what type of figurative language, okay? But you need to make his name sound not mean, okay? All right, guys, if you have any questions about anything, just shoot me an email and I will get back to you. And if we need to set up a Zoom, we will, okay? All right, guys, I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you on Zooms today. I have one for my morning class at 10:30 and one for my afternoon class at 1. Okay? All right, guys, have a good day.